innocent. Fuck you all.
I don't feel no remorse for the death of them demons.
Case 1. Elizabeth Escalona. This is Elizabeth Escalona, who was arrested and sentenced to 99 years in prison for assaulting her own daughter. This incident happened when the 23-year-old mother kicked her 2-year-old daughter, Jocelyn Cedillo, in the abdomen for soiling her pants. But she didn't stop there. She also struck her with a milk jug and glued her hand to the wall.
Patricia, as you say, today was the state's turn to try to poke holes into Escalona's testimony. They started out right away with prosecutors suggesting that Escalona is someone who lies whenever it's convenient.
During the court proceedings, Elizabeth, who appeared emotionless at first, wept uncontrollably when shown pictures of the bruises she had inflicted on Jocelyn, and even referred to herself as a monster. When addressing the court, Dallas County Judge Larry Mitchell, who was clearly struggling to control his anger, described the brutality that Escalona inflicted upon her child.
On September 7, 2011, you savagely beat your child to the edge of death. For this you must be punished.
After Jocelyn suffered severe brain trauma and physical injuries from the assault, she recovered following hospitalization. Elizabeth, reacting to this, requested a chance for therapy, but the judge denied her plea and sentenced her to 99 years in prison.
I find you guilty of the offense charged. I'll set your sentence at confinement in the penitentiary for a period of 99 years. The sentence goes into effect today. As required by law, you will receive all back time credits. Counsel, is there any reason in law why sentence should not be pronounced at this time? Safely held, to be turned over to a duly authorized receiving agent of the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Please go with the bailiff.
Family, many aunts and uncles who cared for her, who were there for her.
The child, who has fully recovered along with her siblings, was placed into state custody after their mother's arrest and now live with their grandmother. Case 2. Jalissa Thaler. This is Jalissa Thaler, who is receiving a life sentence for the murder of her 6-year-old son, Eli Hart. The incident took place in Orono when someone reported a suspicious vehicle with a shattered rear window and flat tire. Police stopped the car, which was driven by Jalissa Thaler, and found pieces of flesh on her clothing and blood inside the vehicle.
There, all right. There's what?
There's blood all over the car.
Violation. I have a broken windshield and I'm missing a tire because some kids were shooting at my car. I had some.
What looks like blood in there?
It's not blood, it's deer meat. I had a big bag of, there's a farm around here that does deer meat and hamburgers. So.
Shotgun shells all over this.
Yeah.
They made a shocking discovery when they opened the car trunk and found the lifeless body of 6-year-old Eli Hart, Jalissa's son.
Holy. We got a body. All right, let's.
Jalissa Thaler was quickly arrested and the investigation into the crime started right away. During the trial, the prosecution presented compelling evidence linking Jalissa Thaler to the crime, including cell phone records placing her at the murder scene. It was also revealed that Jalissa had been awarded full custody of Eli just 10 days prior to the tragedy. Throughout the trial, emotional statements from Eli Hart's family highlighted the joy and love he brought to their lives.
Eli was an innocent, loving 6-year-old boy. He did not deserve this. Eli deserved to grow up and have a safe and happy life.
Before sentencing, the judge delivered a heartfelt speech.
Of every parent, the worst nightmare of every parent. There's a difference between us though, Tori. I couldn't do what you did. I couldn't if I lost my son.
When given the opportunity to address the court one final time, she unleashed a profanity-laden tirade, expressing her defiance and proclaiming her innocence.
I'm innocent. Fuck you all. You're garbage.
After the sentencing, Eli Hart's family and loved ones were left to grapple with the aftermath of this devastating tragedy. Their focus shifted towards honoring Eli's memory and ensuring that no other child would suffer a similar fate. Case 3. Camilla Gamet. This is Camilla Gamet, who was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the brutal murder of her boyfriend, Marcel Hill. On May 18, 2013, Marcel Hill was killed in a brutal attack by Camilla Gamet, who stabbed him repeatedly and inflicted wounds on him. Gamet was arrested the same day. The investigation revealed a history of violence in their relationship, with Marcel Hill's family reporting previous abuse, including stabbings and a hammer attack.
So remember the cries of help that he screamed as you plunged that knife in and out of his body.
During the trial, Camilla Gamet displayed no remorse and interrupted a family member describing the abuse Marcel Hill suffered. Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Kadi Resmi expressed her disbelief at Camilla Gamet's behavior. She emphasized that the life sentence was a formality, as the judge had no choice but to send her to a place where she would also die.
But to send her where she will also die. I can't believe she stands before.
Judge John McBain, who was fed up with Camilla's constant interruption, addressed her directly, expressing his disgust at the brutality of her actions. He delivered a scathing condemnation, ensuring that her punishment would fit the severity of her crime.
You're going to shut your mouth or I'm going to have some duct tape put on it.
Well, he attacked me.
We'll wait here for a moment till we can get her quiet. You gutted him like a fish in that apartment too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead. I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
Camilla still tried to make her case after the conviction, saying everything was a lie.
Basically at trial, the way I was portrayed, mostly everything was lies. There was a little bit of truth, but mostly I was convicted off of lies.
The family of Marcel Hill expressed their desire for Camilla Gamet to be imprisoned for life. They felt that justice had been done, yet knew the anguish of their loss would endure indefinitely. Case 4, Michelle Blair. This is Michelle Blair, who was sentenced to life in prison for killing 2 of her children. In 2015, Michelle, facing employment struggles and government dependency, received an eviction notice. During the process, authorities found her children Stephen, 9, and Stoney, 13, deceased in a freezer. Michelle confessed to their murders, claiming they were molesting her younger son, and cited her own history of abuse as a child. The bodies had remained in the freezer for years, while she and her 2 surviving children lived in the home.
I just started asking him questions. Matthew, at this point, is just spilling out. He's just spilling out.
During the court trial, Michelle expressed that she felt no remorse and referred to the children as demons.
Stephen and Stoney are demons, period. I don't feel no remorse for the death of them demons.
She shared an account of how she murdered the 2 kids.
Would be face down, he had stuff around his neck. So I grabbed Stephen, I grabbed a belt and I put a belt around his neck and I lifted him up like, do you like how this feels, being choked with a belt? So I dropped him. I held him up until he lost consciousness as well.
You were intending to...
No, I did not intend to kill Stephen.
No, I'm not... Listen to my question. You were intending to inflict serious physical harm, but not kill him.
Definitely.
Okay.
I assaulted her every time he told me what she did to him. By assault, I mean I punched her. I have put a bag over her head till she lost consciousness. I threw hot water on her.
She was eventually sentenced by Judge Dana Pathway to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
You're therefore sentenced to the Michigan Department of Corrections for the rest of your life without the possibility of parole.
Michelle held the children's fathers responsible for their absence and maintained that killing them was the right choice. Case 5, Olivia Carolee. This is Olivia Carolee, who was convicted for killing 6 people in a crash. On February 9, 2014, 21-year-old Olivia Carolee Culbreth, who had recently given birth and was intoxicated, drove the wrong way on the 57 and 60 freeways at speeds up to 100 miles per hour. Her car collided with another vehicle, killing 6 people, including her sister, friend, and 4 family members from Huntington Park.
The crash happened over 4 years ago on February 9, 2014. Investigators say 25-year-old Olivia Culbreth had been drinking, then drove against traffic on the 60 freeway at speeds close to 100 miles an hour. Her car hit a Ford Explorer, killing all 4 family members inside. 2 passengers in her Camaro were also killed.
The victim's daughter, who happens to be the sole survivor, made emotional statements during the trial.
They walked in and saw us crying, and I told them, they're dead, they're all dead. I saw the window shattered with my grandmother's wheelchair in the back.
Olivia's Anthony stated that she's unable to work and her emotional state is fragile.
She's also grieving for the people that died as a result of this incident.
During a preliminary hearing, it was revealed that Olivia had a prior DUI arrest and had been warned about the dangers of drinking and driving. Now confined to a wheelchair, she broke down in court sentencing, crying and apologizing for her actions.
No words can convey how my heart feels.
Olivia's mom talked about how Olivia's son acted every time they visited her in prison.
He always asks when she's coming home. He jumps up on the little shelf and tries to move the glass.
Case 6. This is Brianna Smart, a 22-year-old woman who was sentenced to jail for hitting an Auburn Hills police officer with her car while resisting arrest. The incident happened on October 23, 2015, when Officer Martin Mikolazik tried to arrest Smart for driving on a suspended license.
You're Brianna, right? You know, license suspended?
Yeah, I know my license is suspended. No, I know I got a ticket. I got to pay. They told me my license is suspended.
All right, step it out for me, okay? Leave your cell phone inside, please.
The two struggle. Then Smart jumps into her car and puts it in reverse, her open door striking Mikolazik and slamming him into his car. She then drives away. During the trial, Brianna Smart pleaded no contest to assaulting a police officer, fleeing and eluding, assaulting with a dangerous weapon, and driving without a valid license. Before sentencing, Smart acknowledged her mistake to the court.
I apologize. My deepest apologies to this officer. Truly sorry. I'm just happy that I pray every day that he wasn't, severely hurt. I'm very sorry. I got 2 kids at home, Braylon and Brighton. They're both young. Braylon is 1 and Brighton is 8 months old. This is my first time in trouble, and I understand that I made a bad choice.
Despite her apologies, Judge Hala dismissed them, stating that Smart had shown complete disrespect for law enforcement. Smart was sentenced to 1 year in jail and 2 years of probation for fleeing and assault charges. She also received 93 days for driving without a valid license, with 56 days already served. Judge Hala cautioned her against further violations during her sentencing.
I'm promising you this today. If you come back on the slightest violation, whatever that is, if that means that probation department tells you to show up at 8:30 and you show up at 8:35, you are going to the Department of Corrections. You will go to prison. Do you understand that?
Smart will also have to pay restitution to the police department, complete 100 hours of community service, and go through anger and mental health treatments. Who among these women do you believe committed the most despicable act? Let us know in the comments section. Please subscribe, like, and share this video.